pressure effectively until you get to a point where your body's starting to use the muscles and the triangle. So getting out here does little for you as opposed to getting to a comfortable spot. Okay? And I'm not talking about comfortable at the freaking knee. All right? Comfortable to the point where you're efficient, you still got the geometric advantage that you can still plant that blade and still come through. Okay? So our set point, you can just be sitting in the boat just for yourself. Okay, I feel myself torquing a little bit. I feel myself with a little lean, lower shoulder down, opposite shoulder opening up. This is comfortable. Comfortable and effective to the point where I can use and do this over and over and over again. Okay? You're not overextending yourself, you're not staying forward, you're not staying too far up. Okay? Two types of strokes. There's one dynamic and one static. Basically, dynamic means it's the old style of getting way forward, sitting with every stroke. Boom, you know, all day long, slower rate, really efficient, long stroke. The other way would be a static, where you stay here and you use more of a twist. And it's more of a real compact, okay? You can achieve higher rates with that static one. The dynamic is very moving oriented. You get a lot of glide and a lot of feel good, you know. So we're going to try and get a blend of the best of both worlds. We're not going to be to the point where we're sitting up way up here and coming way back. Okay, and we're not going to be either. It's going to be a combination of two where we get some lean, we get some twist, but we can still maintain that rate where we're still effective. Okay, so far we've covered the setup. Someplace comfortable. Top hand. Top hands are very important. When we teach novices, we tell them, straighten them up, get them locked out, get used to this feeling, because this is where it all comes from. This is where it starts. Okay? As the guys, you get more developed in paddling, you're going to realize we're broad-shouldered. We cannot have hand over hand. We cannot have it because your shoulders don't allow it. It's too restrictive. You can offset the blade. That's why the blade has this. Okay? That's why the blade can clear the canoe, because you can have that. That's what it's for. Okay? I'm not talking about way out here, especially if you're in seat 1 or seat 5. You really adjust the boat too far away from the boat. Okay? So bottom hand, top hand, roughly in front, you throw ahead. Okay? Elbow, point to the side, not down, not up, nice and relaxed to the side. From here, this is where I'm at. Okay? Left foot forward, brace against the boat. Real simple setup. Okay? Boom, from here. That's it. Okay, that's my setup. Now, the entry and pull, the entry and power phase, or I'm sorry, entry and catch. To me, you cannot pull faster than the boat is going forward. I'm going to say that over and over. You cannot pull faster than the boat going forward because you can just cavitate water. You're just going to bring back air bubbles. Okay? You got to set it with the speed of the boat into the water. Once you get a good anchor, a good set, then you can power through that water. Okay? And you're not letting that anchor get set over here. You got to bury your blade a little further up. Okay? Your blade should be relatively close to being buried before your foot in the canoe. Anything after that, you're just applying the power too late, probably taking it too far back. Okay? So from the back, set, top hand, bottom hand, elbow's got a little bend to it, lower arm's got a little bend to it. I'm comfortable, I can be here all day. Okay? When you set the blade, some people say stab it into the water. Okay? I'm not a firm believer of that. It's a soft catch. By that I mean you're going to enter the water here, your blade, as you get back, as the blade gets closer to you, obviously then you can bury it even further and get a good catch. Okay? You bury it way up here, that ain't going to do shit for you. Okay? Get up here, as it gets around here, I'm still before my feet. I still got a good catch. Once you feel that good catch, you could use an 8-inch blade or you can use a 12-inch blade. You can get the same pull. Okay? The theory is, as long as you anchor this blade and you pull yourself up to that blade, you're fine. Okay? It's when you bring when you bring air, that's when your blade starts going through the water super fast, it's cavitation. Okay? Alright. Bottom end, top end. Set point, entry and catch. Think of it as you're catching water nice and soft. You're not trying to power into it. Catch it nice and soft. Okay? Your power phase. Some people say, oh, it should be off by the knee, it should be off by the thigh. Okay? That's fine. That's what I want. Okay? Your power phase should be up here, so right about the knee. you notice, even though my top hand is in front of my bottom hand, and in theory you think, oh, the blade's already pulling the boat down. Incorrect. If I pull the blade out, what way is the blade? The blade's still straight down. We're still parallel. The blade is designed so that you can have a little offset, and the blade's still going to be parallel to the boat. Okay. Now once you get to this point and you get past, the power's got to be off. Okay, the power's got to be off, and the natural flow of the water is going to pop that blade out. Now some people prefer coming out sideways, slicing out sideways. If you can pull it off and you can do it effectively and not coming too far around, then do it. Some people like to pull straight up, you know, what do you call that? Choo-choo train style. If it works for you, it works, okay? It's not going to be aesthetically pleasing, but as long as you're not messing up the rest of the boat, okay? I'm not going to hold you guys to a strict, this is how we exit the boat, this is how we enter, okay? The exit, just clear the blade, okay? So my power phase is going to be from here. I'm still at power right here. I'm still good. I can still power. From here I should be off. Right about here I'm off already. Okay? From here, boom, power's off. This is probably just past my knee, mid-thigh. My power's off. I let the blade come out, I slice it out. Okay? So far, again, bottom hand, top hand, set point, entry and catch, solid catch. You're not wasting time or energy pulling air. Come through my power phase. Now some people are like, I see some people pushing the shit out of this one up here. I can leverage all day. It can be fucking all day. Okay? That's not what we're doing here. This top hand is going to follow the same arc as this lower hand. The guys have a tendency to use more of an upper body, and we can torque through the stroke, where women have to, you know, dive forward because they're using that weight to get the boat going. Guys, we don't need to do that, okay? The top hand is going to follow that same arc as the bottom hand. Alright, so if you feel any hesitation about that, check yourself. This hand shouldn't be to the point where it's going forward and the bottom one's just trading places, okay? It's all going to be an arc. All it is, an arc. Okay, now that we have that, we have to exit. Recovery. Recovery is important because everybody behind you is going to follow your recovery. And if you sat in seat 2 before, you notice, shit, I paddle different. I'm paddling like seat 1. Everything's the same. Recovery, setup, hitting, everything's the same. Okay? You will affect people behind you if they're following you. Some people, and Fred, I'm going to use an example. You have a great stroke up front, solid power throughout. Your recovery, the only problem with the recovery is it's very methodical to the point of you almost get too flat. Too flat, and you come around like this. Okay? Some people do the chicken arm. You know, this should never be higher than this. What I try to say is your paddle in the water is going to make a D. Your top hand is going to make a small D. That's all it is. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Down, small D. Your recovery, you cannot, after you come out of the water, this blade cannot come across and just shut down. It shuts, I basically call it collapsing the stroke. After you come through like this and you're recovering, you drop this, you feel good. Yeah, I'm feathering my blade, I'm bringing it all back forward. Guess what? This hand's got to still come way the hell back up here. That's just wasted time, wasted effort, especially if we're holding a higher rate. Okay? Think of this. As you come down with your top hand, you're shoving a sword down into your hip. Okay? Boom, coming down. On your recovery, you're pulling that sword back out. Okay? Following that arc. Come down, boom, boom. From here, I'm not going to come across my body. I'm going to come down, and from here, I'm good. All I have to do, minor turn of the wrist. Thumb forward. Your blade does not have to be flat. You can even be angled like this. Okay? Pulling that blade right back out. I'm ready to go again. Good? Any questions on any part?
Can you identify in the group components that you like in individuals so that we can focus like, oh,
yeah,
but so-and-so's got a good setup.
Just remember, this elbow is never going to be a